Peace and love. 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 Hey y'all, it's the Queen 7, y'all. Y'all already know she come up in here with y'all to break some chains. I come up in here to check the mic with you. Alright y'all, anyway, let me get to it because I done already had enough distractions trying to do this video. And I know it's probably finna disturb some things because y'all already know how 7 is. Y'all already know, pay attention to the title. The titles are already, y'all already know. It ain't gonna be no joke. Anyway, let me get to it, y'all. Y'all, this is a touchy subject for me, so I gotta really just take my time with this thing. Y'all here looking like what you been knocking boots with. The reason why I titled the video that is because that sexual energy. I know y'all probably like, Lord, here she go again. Here she go again. Yes, here I am again. Y'all, we are under heavy spiritual attack when it comes to sex. People are using sex as a major tool to gain control over you. Yes, sex is being used as a tool. And sex magic is real, whether we believe it or not. It exists. I promise you. Pay attention to your body. I tell y'all all the time. Pay attention to your aura. Your body is like a walking GPS. It's going to let you know when something is right for you, when it's not right for you, when it's good for you, when it's toxic for you, when you've had too much of something, when you haven't had enough of something. Your body is going to always let you know when something is up. Okay? So, like I said, for those who don't believe that sex magic is real, it is. Just because you don't believe in it does not mean it does not exist. So it is vital right now, especially for the guys, to be mindful of their sexual energy. I'm going to say that again. It is vital right now for the guys to be mindful of their sexual energy. It is 3:33 on the clock as I'm saying this, so y'all can look at it. I ain't making this up, okay? Y'all need to look up 333, all right? That's the Holy Trinity, baby. It's time to get that mind, body, and spirit and soul together, okay? Whatever you want to call it, mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul, however you want to put it. But you need to get in alignment for the assignment. And this is why I'm doing this video, because many of you are spreading your sexual energy loosely, very loosely, and you are not aware that succubus are sucking on you, literally. I know many of you guys probably like, woo, you know that word, but at the end of the day, you need to be mindful. Okay, so let's get our minds out of the gutter, because I didn't make this video for us to be in the gutter. Okay, it's to get us out of the gutter. All right, like I said, many of us are out here spreading our sexual energy too loosely, right? And you probably think, well, it's not affecting me. Well, that doesn't matter, you know, it's just sex, right? Yes, it does, and it does affect you. Pay attention to your energy level. Pay attention to after you lay down with a person and when you finish. How do you feel? You might feel good for a moment, but how do you feel the next day or the next 3 days or the next 2 weeks or whatever? Are you still energized? Do you feel empowered, enlightened, or do you feel drained and like you want to just give up on life? How do you feel? Pay attention, because your body is going to let you know what's up, right? Okay. So, you know, many of us ignore the signs, and I myself have been a victim of sex magic and, you know, sex spells and stuff before. You know, sometimes you find yourself trying to get away from an individual, right? And many of us stay with people but due to good sex, you know. I call them devil with good sex, you know. Many of us are stuck in relationships just because we're satisfied with what they give us in bed. But outside of that, what are they offering you? I put on Facebook not too long ago, ladies, what do you have to offer? What do you have to bring to the table besides your assets? You know what I mean? Besides what you got. You know, what do you have to bring to the table? And, you know, the same thing go for guys. Guys, what do you have to bring to the table besides your assets? So a lot of times we are stuck in a situationship or relationships or marriages or whatever you want to call it, love relationships, whatever, cuddy buddies, however you want to put it. Many of you are staying stuck and stagnant in situations like that because of comfortability. For one, you've been dealing with this person for a long time. You're comfortable with them. You don't know anybody else, so you don't really want to go out and sleep with nobody else. So you choose to stay with this person, or this person is just good in bed. We fight, we argue, and then boom, we back in bed again. And it's back once we get out of bed, we back to fighting and arguing again. So that's what I'm asking you. What are you experiencing after you sleep with certain individuals? Because people think that sex is just sex, but it's actually not. You get what I'm saying? It's more than just that. And so I hear Cyrus. You got so many people out here literally just sleeping with, every, woman. And some of these women don't have good intentions for you. And then a lot of you guys don't even believe in carrying protection anymore nowadays. So you just skin to skin contact. And it might, be pleasurable, but at the end of the day, you are actually rubbing more than just skins with this person. You're actually swapping souls with this person, energies with this person, traumas with this person, heartaches, breaks, whatever, that this person, look, I knew it was going to happen, that this person is suffering with, or whatever. If this person is going through a healing process, you're going to pick that up. So whatever this person is going through at that point in time, and you laying down with that person, be mindful, because some of these people will be laying down with you and they could be thinking certain things, chanting certain things, or manifesting certain things with you, and you don't even know about it, And I feel like if you're going to be involved with a person, that's, doing things like that, you should be aware of those type of things, right? So, like they say, pick your poison. Everybody got a little poison to them. Everybody got a little crazy to them, or whatever they say, but you got to pick your own poison. So in this day and age, men, I'm targeting y'all especially, because the succubus and what some of y'all like to say Jezebels and all of those, women, those promiscuous, because it's basically what we're trying to say. Y'all are being targeted by promiscuous women, promiscuous spirits all over the place, and they're using their bodies and their, gorgeous looks, and, they're catfishing, basically, because a lot of these women, when they take all of that stuff off, what do they have to offer, and who are they truly? You get what I'm saying? And many of you guys are being catfished right now because of beauty. You get what I'm saying? And, that's why I said I did a post recently that beauty is more than skin deep. And y'all are just looking at a person on the outside, and you're not getting to know this individual, and then boom, you in the bed with them, and now you don't know, you just created a contract with the devil. That's the second time I see a FedEx truck bag pass by my window as I'm saying this. So message. At the end of the day, y'all are being, manipulated because of a beautiful woman. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, be attracted to beautiful women. No, I'm not saying that you should be afraid of beautiful women. I'm just saying that you should use discernment with these women, because a lot of these women are not as beautiful on the inside as they look on the outside. That's why they say everything that glitter ain't gold, and that's the truth. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if you always seeing a person that's always covered up with so much makeup and so many wigs and so many gold teeth and chains and, big, just branded and covered up with so much to the point you don't get to see them. Those are distractions to hide who they truly are. Because a lot of times they don't want you to see that. So that's why they cover themselves in so many masks. That's why I've been saying mask off, mask off, mask off. Many people are afraid to look at themselves in the mirror because they can see the darkness upon them. And then they'll go, I know people, this is why I say, guys, it's very important to protect yourself, because I know women out here that, and not just women, but it's just people in general, this sexually transmitted diseases are at an all-time high right now. And so we definitely have to be mindful of that as well, but you got so many people who get, infected, and they get bitter, because it does something to their mind. So now the mind is tweaked, and now they now at this point, Everybody got to go. Whoever they touch got to go with them. You know what I mean? It's like walking around playing Russian roulette, pulling bullets. Pulling the trigger, and whoever it shoot. So we have to be mindful of that and stop being so asleep when it comes to our sexual energy. Because women are out here, like, they got even shows that are telling, that's chanting over men while, in the middle of intercourse, and I'm pretty sure it's probably happening with women as well, because I know, me being one, I have had it done on me, and it's been times where I felt myself walking away, telling myself in my mind, walking away from this individual, I'm done, I'm finished, and I mean it, but then boom, that person, I know where pops back in my spirit, pops back in my aura. Now I'm back at square one again, it melting like chocolate in the hand. And then I asked myself, well, how did I get here? What's going on? I told myself I was done. I said I was finished. I would never coming back. I prayed and asked God to take me out of this situation, but somehow I found myself back because I was a victim of sex magic. And I felt something was wrong. When you feel a pull to a place, when you keep trying to walk away from something and it's toxic and it's not good for you, but you keep just going back. Because you too probably are a victim of sex magic. And it's real. Black magic is real. Sex spells are real. Food spells is real. Love spells are real. You got people out here doing love spells. You wondering why you are attracted to, you keep being pulled to a person you're not attracted to. You're not attracted to this person, but for some apparent reason, you keep finding yourself back to them. And you be looking at them like, I can't stand you. And the more I come back, the more I want to hate you. And that's not love. You get what I'm saying? And then we'll ignore the red flags, and then we'll fall back into the same cycle. Well, you know what? This person keep coming back, so it must be love. They say when you let it go and they come back, then it got to be real, right? No, not all the time. Not necessarily. Sometimes, if it come back, it could be a lesson. It's a test to see how far your integrity is going to go, how far your discipline is going to go. If you ask the Most High God, hey, God, please get me out of this situation. Please, I won't ever go back. I know many of us have prayed that prayer. I know I done prayed it several times. God, please get me out of this situation. And if you get me out of this situation, I'll never come back. I promise you, God, and I'll do everything you ask me to do. And then, boom. You get out of that situation, living your life, and then here come that person moseying on back like temptation do. Hey, ooh, you looking good. Ooh, I see you doing good. I ain't seen you in a minute. What you been doing? What you working at now? Oh, you got a business? Okay. Yeah, me too. And you be like, oh, okay, look like you're doing good, So then you feel like you're missing out on something. You feel like you need to go back. You feel like, well, they did make me comfortable. We did have good love making. But you dismiss all of the other things that happened. And then you fall yourself back into that whole situation again. It's a test. And I'm going to give y'all an example. Now, this ain't really had nothing to do with sex but a little bit. I ain't gonna, Okay, let me tell y'all. So like I say, story time. All right. This is a true story with myself back in my early 20s. Okay. There was this person that I was dealing with, and I'm gonna call him John Doe. There was this person that I was dealing with, and John Doe was like this crazy, wild boyfriend that I had. He was very risky. He did on the edge type of things, and some apparent reason my little crazy but liked the craziness, because some part of me was crazy. If I'm being honest. But at the end of the day, I can remember going out with John Doe, and before we went out, mind you, we had dated years before, and it didn't end well. And I literally got got this person out of my energy. Years came by. This person pops back up, looking good, but it, let me take you out, talking a different talk. And I'm like, okay, this person might have changed. Things is different. Okay, what could it hurt? You haven't been out on a date in a while. Let's go. But I made it clear there was not gonna be any sex. Period. We're gonna go out, have a good time, bring me back home. That's gonna be it. Okay. We get out, have a good time, and after they have a good time at the, going out, now you want to go to a hotel room, and manipulate me into a room when I don't want to be in a room. The plan was to take me back home. So I was like, okay. So now we're in this room, and I'm telling this person, hey, look, because the plan was you was going to get the room, go in there, and you was going to go to sleep, and I was going to go home in the car. You was going to find a ride back. That was the plan. We get there, you take the keys out of the ignition. I'm like, that's not the plan. That's not the plan. This person goes into the room that is not livable, by the way, at all, for any humans. Should be illegal for that to be open. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. So I get in there, I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, and I'm like, okay, so you're going to give me the keys? Because I got to go. This person is like, come on, lay down. No, I'm not laying down. I got to go back home. I got to get my child. I got stuff to do. He ain't going nowhere. Yes, I am. I need to go. You told me I could get the keys and I was going to go home. That was the plan. So, we had a couple of words, and this person basically threatened my life, And it was crazy because you went from trying to get me to lay down with you to, bitch, I'd kill your ass and leave you somewhere stanky. And nobody will find you. Now, this is the person. Now, had I been sexually active with this person, which I hadn't been, thank God, way years before. But we hadn't had, any intercourse, thank God, because I didn't know this person had that darkness like that. So I was just sitting there like, dang. Now, suppose I had given him my, treasure box, then I'd be out here just full of that. So anyway, I was like, hey, can I get the keys? Wouldn't give me the keys. This person's very, very highly intoxicated. And you know how they say when you're drunk, that's when the truth come out. So at this point, I know ain't no lies coming out of this person's mouth. Okay? So now it's either kill or be killed at this point. Y'all, this was before I became spiritual. Now I tell folks, I ain't always been like this. And don't get it twisted. I have to ask God to be delivered every day. Every day. Because I be wanting to slap folks all the time. And if it was left up to me, I would. But because God, makes me be divine, I can't. Anyway. So, I said, Spirit, I'm sitting on the edge of the bed because it's a double room. And I'm sitting on the edge of the bed. And this person's so drunk, this person falls asleep. And I'm sitting there looking at this person. And in my mind, I said, God, if you get me out of this situation, I'll never come back to it again. I said, God, you're going to have to get me out of this situation. I said, either I'm looking at this phone over there on the table, and I'm looking at him, and it was one of them big old phones with the big receiver on it. That sucker was about this big, and you got two of them. And I said, Lord, I'm going to have to kill him. Now, I don't like to carry around, the idea of taking nobody out. But at this point, my life has already been threatened. So I'm looking at this phone and I'm thinking to myself, there's one clock on the head or two. I get the keys and go. Now I don't want to kill him, but it just might happen if I hit him on the head. He's bigger than me. He's way bigger than me, so I gotta be careful with this. I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed contemplating this thing. But then I said, God, I don't want to do it. I said, but God, please, I need you to get me up out of this. If you get me out of this, I promise you I won't come back again. I won't put myself in no situation like this again. And I kid you not, as soon as I said that prayer, this person rolled over, got up, went to the bathroom, and there were the keys right there in the bed. And I hear my mind saying, girl, get up and grab them damn keys. And I'm like, okay. I'm scared because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I grab the keys. I fly out the door. John Doe coming behind me. By the time I get to the car, crank up, because my purse was in the car and everything. I couldn't even leave if I wanted to because my house keys and everything was in the car locked up. So I was like literally being held hostage low key somewhere I didn't even know where I was. But because I thought it was love and it was healthy. So I got in his car. I see John Doe come to the door, but he's so drunk. At this point, he's spinning. He can't even make it to the car. I take off, back up, take off. I hit 100 all the way down the highway. I make it home. I call my sister on the way home. I'm like, hey, she had my spare car key. I said, hey, I need you to get an old lady. Because at the time, that's what I call my old school. I need you to get an old lady. Meet me over here such and such spizot in my car. And I'll tell y'all about it later. She laughing. She like, good, what's wrong with you? What's going on? I said, just get here. I'll tell you about it later. So I pull up to drop the car off that I had stole. Dropped it off to John Doe family member. John Doe family member gonna be watching this and dying laughing because she never knew what happened. But she gonna find out the damn day. John Doe, I knocked on the door. I said, here. Handed the keys and said, tell you folks, don't call me no more. I'm done. I had in my mind, I made up I was done. Okay? About a year or so go by. No, actually, let me rewind. John Doe did call me back the next day and was laughing. John Doe was like, I can't believe it. Like, it's only you. Only you would get away with something like this. And I was just like, at the end of the day, I told you I wanted to come home. But you didn't hear me. So, I can't fool with you no more. Well, let me take you out on another day. No, bye. I'm done. But then, boom, some time went by. I hadn't really healed myself. The problem was I wasn't doing no healing. I was just taking a hiatus, but I wasn't healing. So, boom, John Doe was able to pop back up again. And because he was, familiar and comfortable to me, that's why I allowed it again. Well, hey, let me take you out on a date, and it won't be like last time. I promise you, I'm not going to drink like I was. Okay. Trusted it again. I was young, y'all. Don't judge me. Everybody done had their naive days. So, I go out with this person again, and boom, it did not end well. It ended in the night of us arguing all the way to the house, like literally to the point I didn't know if we were going to kill each other. I was going to kill him. He was going to kill me. I didn't know what was going to go on. But all I know is I had already prayed to the Most High God to get me out of this situation. But then I turned around and took my little tail right on back to that situation. And it got worse. Okay? And this really, I didn't even gonna say it had nothing to do with sex, but maybe so, because we did have, and of course, as younger, back in our younger days, earlier in 20s, but at the same time, years hadn't went by, but still and yet, I'm just giving you an example on how energies can still linger. So, at the end of the day, something kept pulling me back, and I didn't know why. So at the end of the day, I prayed that prayer again. God, please, if you get me out of it, I will go back. I'll do this. I'll go get baptized. I'll get saved. I won't even think about sex stuff. I won't think about a man. Whatever. I did that prayer. And that time, I really meant it. Because I realized that, like they say, three times is the charm. And, that charm don't always mean good charm. So I figured the second time had got worse. Ooh, child, that 3 times could have got bad. So I found myself praying to God again. Listen, don't, please, I won't go back. And I meant it. I meant it this time. But the thing is, I moved on and I attracted more of the same kind of energies in my life. Moral of the story. That I was actually active with. And either way, I needed to clean that energy from my spirit. And I tell y'all all the time, when you laying down with people or when you've been involved with people, even family, friends, you have to clean people from your spirits. 355, 5 is change. You have to cut the cords, remove people from your auric field. And I didn't realize that people could still have ties to you, even after you have left them alone long before now. And that's why some people are able to boomerang themselves back into your life. And comfortably you let them back in. Because you never cleanse them from your spirit. Or your body. Or your mind. Or your heart. Just because you're clearing people don't mean you don't care. It just means you got to make space for something new. And this is how we bring old baggage into new situations, because we have not cleansed the past. And so a lot of people say, well, Seven, how do I cleanse these people? Well, I tell y'all all the time. First of all, clink, okay? And if you ain't going to clink, wrap it up. And if you know, when you do that, still be mindful of whom you are swapping spirits and souls with. But at the same time, the best protection is celibacy. You know, you build your power like that, and then, you know, let the universe, the divine guide you to whom you can trust to mate with. You know, sex should not be used loosely, but we do it all the time. So I tell people all the time, well, they say, well, Seven, how do I cleanse, you know, and get these people out of my spirit? Well, a lot of y'all so scared of, you know, I tell y'all we need to unlearn what we've already learned to be reborn again. But so many of y'all are stuck in your ways, and you think what you know is right, but you don't want to learn nothing new. And I tell y'all all the time, you know, some of y'all so scared of sage and, you know, anything that's an energy cleansing mechanism, you know, incense, you know, frankincense and myrrh, you know, cinnamon, you know, it's so many different things that you could use to cleanse your aura. And so many of y'all are afraid of those things because you've been told and programmed that it is witchcraft or it's not of God. But that's a lie. Okay? And because, you know, you're afraid of those energy cleansing mechanisms, you run from those, so then you don't know how to cleanse your space. So I'm here to let you know that you need to shake loose of the indoctrinations that you've been taught, the lies that you've been taught of what you think is hoodoo. Because it's a difference between hoodoo and voodoo, you know, just like there's a heaven and a hell, you know. But a lot of y'all are afraid of hoodoo, and you think hoodoo is voodoo, but it's not. So you need to do your research and your education. But a lot of y'all have been told that all of it is the same. Y'all are tying it all into the same thing, and you think that it's not of God. But truth be told, if you do your research, you'll find out it is. And that's the trick of the enemy. It's kind of like reverse psychology. I'm going to tell you something is bad, which is really good, so you don't use it. Because if you use it, then it'll be over with for me. You're going to see the truth about me. And see, many people are so stuck on people that wear, like myself, I wear gemstones, and, you know, I protect myself with, you know, sage and other things, you know, that God sent my way to protect myself with. But so many people come for my protective mechanisms and try to say, oh, that's the devil and that's witchcraft and that's da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, no. Because back then when I didn't have any of these things, I was being so attacked in so many different directions, and I didn't know how, and I didn't know how to cover myself. And all most of us know how to do is to grab a gun or a knife and think that's protection, but you need a protection in another form. And so when the universe started leading me these tools to protect my aura, it started cleansing my space. And now I have more peace. I don't have so many demons running around me. And so a lot of y'all you telling yourself, well, God, I'm done with this person, but you have not done any work to cleanse your space or your energy or your body. You have not eaten anything to detox yourself. You have not stopped sleeping with the devil. You have not stopped hanging with the devil. You still rubbing elbows with the devil. That's why I say stop knocking boots with the devil. But many of us, we think just because we say we're done, that cuts it off. No, because a person, you could tell me you done with me, but what if I'm not done with you? And what if I want to go home? You don't know. I could be over here doing something, twiddling my thumbs or something, and thinking some negative things about you. You know what? You know, and sending you energy. But because we were still connected through that string, that soul tie, that connection through that intercourse, I still have that pull on you. So at some point, you have to cut that cord And this is why I've been telling y'all lately to cut the cords to these people. And even if that means physical communication, all ties, all forms of airways of connection, blocking folks, it's not that you are being nasty or rude. It is trying to protect your aura, because you may think that you have gotten rid of these people, or it's been 15, 20 years since you were done with these people. But no, everybody that you have tied yourself to or connected yourself to is still connected to your aura until you disconnect them from your aura. Just like you plug your phone up into the plug, that charger gonna stay plugged up until you disconnect it, right? So the same with yourself. You have to learn to disconnect people from your aura, because people will still pull on you, especially with being on social media. It's easy to pull on people and don't even have to be close to them. As long as they see you, they see pictures of you, they see videos of you, they talking to you all the time, people will still pull on your energy. So this is why I tell people, be mindful of whom you are accepting and allowing on your social medias, because you just never know. And these days, people are making so many fake pages. Half of y'all got 10,000 friends, and 5,000 of them is fake pages. I promise you. You need to go evaluate your pages. Half of them got you got fake lovers sitting back watching you, doing love spells on you, doing graveyard spells, freezer spells, all kind of stuff to keep you stuck and stagnant, keeping you from moving on to the next, being happy. Some of you might find yourself wanting to move on, and then might actually be trying to move on, but then out of nowhere you feel yourself being pulled back to this old past love thing, and you be like, well, this must be the real person. No, that person over there pulling you back. If God wanted it to work out, then that person wanted to bust you in your eye and suck you dry. Many of us are being sucked on energetically. I call energy vampires. So succubus are latching on to you. And many of these people are latching on to you due to finances, because you might have more wealth than them. Many of them are latching on to you through sexual purposes. Many of them latching onto you for spiritual purposes, for your energy, because people will use you for that too. So, be mindful of whom you choose to become one with. And many of you have mixed yourselves with so many people, and you emotionally unstable. You finding yourself with narcissistic tendencies. And the reason why I said you out here looking like what you've been knocking boots with, because you might think you're fooling people when you say, well, I'm done with John Doe and Jane Doe. I ain't fooling with him no more. But then when I look at John Doe and Jane Doe and I look at y'all together, I can see the same energy. You might start talking like that person. You might start looking. Let's say if that person look dusty. Okay, just say that person look busted and broke down. But then you look good, and then boom, you like, you know what? I could pick them up. I could save them. I could get them a little my energy. I can save them and heal them. So boom, you start sleeping with this person. Start picking them up. Started, giving them love and like nurturing them. But then after a while, you start looking dusty and broke down and drained and lacking energy and motivation. Because what you did was swap souls with that person. Now they're you and you're them. So you might think that nobody can see that you still dealing with that John Doe or that Jane Doe. But the universe can. We all can. Say if that person was very depressive, and you, you're a natural healer, but then out of nowhere, when you start sleeping with this person, you start getting real depressed, and this person start pretending to be a healer. The fact is they're pretending, because really what they just did was ciphered your energy. It's an energy transfer. You feel what I'm saying? So I have been a victim of that. Now knowing my true powers and what I carried. So, I've never been loose with my body, but it's been times where I've been loose with the wrong people with my body. And, at the end of the day, didn't know that these people were swapping souls with me. So now here I am years later thinking I'm done with this person or that person, and wonder why this person keeps showing up and keep resurfacing, because I never had cut the cords. So once I learned to cut the cords, cleanse my energy space, cut off all forms of connection with these people, and doing my energy work, cleansing, asking God to heal me, whatever I need to do, then these people can stop resurfacing in my life. So this is why I'm doing this video. I didn't want to be real long-winded, but apparently I had a lot to say. At the end of the day, women, it is very vital to be careful with that snatch. Because some of y'all out here real live think that it's cool to be snatching souls, which is snatch. It ain't. Because some of these souls you snatching shouldn't be snatchable. You shouldn't even want to snatch them. No offense to the guys. But same with the guys. Guys, y'all are out here snatching souls. And some of these women you out here snatching up gonna snatch you. So don't let that control you. You know, it's time to become more what's the word? Responsible? Not really what I'm trying to say. But more bring it back, Spirit. Mindful. It is time to be more mindful of what we are doing, because baby, some of y'all up here snatching some dark souls up. And honey, it is not a good look on you, because many of us in my age group are beginning to look dead in the face, because I tell people what go on in the inside begins to seep out on the outside. So when you sleep with the dead, or dead spirits, or low vibrational entities, even if it's just for one night, you have basically took yourself to a graveyard. You know, and every time you go back and sleep with the dead, the more dead you become. The more you sleep with something lively and more with more life into it, the more lively you become. So this is why I say, ask your body, what are you doing? Ask your body, am I sleeping with the right person? Or should I even be sleeping with anybody at this point in time anyway? Maybe you need, to ask yourself, do I need to go do some healing? Because a lot of us women don't even think about going to heal before we even go and sleep with the person first. And then we take that pain and trauma to them, not knowing what they already got going on, and we just mixing all of that together in one big old pie. So it's best for both parties to do the healing work first and then come together and complete and finish the healing, But many of us are running from traumatic situations to another traumatic situation, to another traumatic situation, to another traumatic situation. And we got all of that trauma built up in our wounds. And so we just passing it along. And then a lot of us pick up spiritual STDs or physical STDs, because the more you hold on to trauma and sleep with all these dead souls and lost souls, I'm not going to say dead souls, but just say lost souls. The more you sleep with those lost souls, the more you become a lost soul. So, until you find yourself in a place of saying, okay, you know what, this has to stop. If you don't, you're going to get further and further down the rabbit hole. And I have seen people, like I said, who have been infected spiritually and physically. And they have taken that illness because they've been infected. So they are bitter about it. And they are out here of infecting everybody else because they feel like, if I got to go, so do you. Dead only wants to create more dead. Life only wants to create more life. So I'm the type of person where I want to go where there's life. I've had my days of sleeping with the dead. Okay? I've had my days of sleeping with the lost. I've had my days of that. And the more I did that, the more lost and dead I became. You can see it on my outside appearance. My face looked sucked in. If you're dealing with a person that's, say a pill head. You might not be a pill head, but you deal with that person long enough, after a while, you're going to be popping pills. And then you look up, you're going to be hard on the pills than that person. Say this person is an alcoholic. You might not even drink nothing. You might be, never had a drink in your life. But once you get with this person, you begin to drink a little bit. You might start drinking harder than them. Same with smoking weed. At the end of the day, you embody what you mate with, what you mesh with, what you connect with. So it's vital to connect with something healthy. Because we are in a time now where so much darkness out, latching on to the light, trying to drain your vital essence. And many of you are victims of it and don't know it. So I'm here to let you know, pay attention to your energy level. After you sleep with this individual, do you feel sad and icky? Do you feel depressed and tired and drained? Do you lack creative flow? Do you feel sick? Are you physically sick? Do you feel mean and angry? Pay attention. Or after you sleep with them, you feel, an energy boost. You feel happy. You feel lively. You feel inspired. You feel like you want to go at the world, grab the bull by the horns, and just live life. If those don't make you feel like that, then you're not sleeping with the right individuals. And many of you are stuck in situationships due to the potential, because I know this person could be everything. I see them. They could be this, they could be that, but they're not that. But at the same time, they got good sex, though. I can work with it. I could put up with it. I could tolerate it. And many of us have become so accustomed to settling for toxicity to the point that we can't identify nothing healthy when it get in our face. I know, because I'm speaking my truth right now. I have been the type of person where I attracted. Keyword, I attracted. I'm taking accountability for what I attract to myself. I attracted these entities to myself that were so low vibrational that it broke me. I put myself back together. It broke me again. I put myself back together, and it broke me to complete dust all the way to get again. And I put myself back together. But at the same time, once you get tired of putting yourself back together, you, like I say, you ain't tired till you're sick and tired. And once I got to that sick and tired moment, I stopped taking myself to those dark places with those dark people. And I clinked because that was the best protection for me. And I don't mind clinking every time I need to, whenever I feel I need to, because that's the best protection for me. But at the same time, I got tired of undoing all of my work. Fast as I heal, I go back and dirty myself up again. And like I said, you could look at me and tell the people that I would deal with, because you could see the aura all over me. And just like when you sleep with a person, your aura is all over them. So at the end of the day, I kept giving away my power unconsciously. Giving away my power. So when I got tired of my power being siphoned from me and me giving it away, me picking up my pieces, I said, you know what, God? I'm not going back. Then and only then I was able to begin to attract a different vibration to myself. But I'm never going to attract a different vibration to myself if I'm choosing to stay in the same space. Some of y'all need to go listen to that song called Same Space. How do you expect different results staying in the same space? And a lot of us stay in the same space due to comfortability. Because, this all I know, this my baby daddy, this my baby mama, I've been with this person, this my high school sweetheart, I've been with this person forever, and I'm comfortable with them. But what if your high school sweetheart is sleeping with everybody? What if your baby daddy, baby mama sleeping with everybody? But you not, but they are. Then they're bringing all of those swapped souls and spirits to you, and you're wondering why you feeling more dead every time you sleep with them. Because it's self-explanatory. So when you become aware of what you're doing with your body, stop allowing that few moments of pleasure to direct your life. Because, like I might say, you can get a wet ass, you can get your own self a wet ass. You don't need to go out and, get that moment, which is going to last for a second, for a lifetime of pain. And like I said, when you sleep with such darkness for so long, you become blinded to what's healthy. So then when something healthy, thank you, Spirit, for bringing that back. When something healthy comes to you and approaches you, you so traumatized from the toxicity, you think toxicity is the norm. So when something healthy approaches you, you looking at it like, when you should have been looking at the toxicity like, but you wasn't. And you still not. Why? Because you have not cut the cords. Because you have not did the energy work. You have not did the prayers to ask God to release you from that situation. You have not did your yoni steaming and your whatever your spiritual cleansing is. You have not did your baptisms. You have not did your spiritual baptisms. You have not. You still hanging on to those people and they still hanging on to you. So once you start doing the energy work, doing, cutting the cords, then you can start appreciating and accepting the healthy things that the universe is sending your way. Stop settling for low vibrational things or entities because it's comfortable, because of familiarity. Comfortability in a negative way can kill you. And I'm a living witness of that. So be mindful of staying in the same space, because you're going to end up Outchea. I ain't say out here. Outchea, looking like what you knocking boots with. And if that's the devil you land with, you better believe you going to become the devil yourself. If that's a narcissist you're laying with, you better believe you're going to become a narcissist, or you might get the tendencies. You might not become one physically, but you might gain some of the tendencies. If you with an earth angel, then you'll gain those tendencies. It's all about what you choose to mix with. And I tell people, if you find yourself in a dark, depressive space, it's probably because you're mixing and blending with the wrong people. And this don't have to just be about sex. It could be what you're allowing yourself to listen to, music, shows, people, lovers. Whatever you allowing yourself to mix with is what you begin to vibrate on. Everything is a vibration. Everything is energy and everything is intention. So what are your intentions when you are laying down with this person? What are your intentions when you're hanging with this person? What are your intentions when you're, getting whatever, and ask yourself, vice versa, flip the script. What are their intentions for you? And I know I've been that person where I've asked a person, what are your intentions for me? And literally, the boy got so dang on uncomfortable and discombobulated, and I want to say stop talking to me. Well, obviously he did, because we ain't talking now. But disappeared when I asked him what his intentions was. He didn't have any. He ain't had no good ones. So sometimes we need to stop and ask a person what your intentions is for me. What your intentions? What you intend on happening with us, whatever this situation is. Are we friends? Are we family? Are we lovers? What are we? What are your intentions? What are we doing? Where are we going with this thing? Are we working towards, this goal? Do we have goals? Do we not have goals? What are your intentions? Ask a person, what is love to you? And what are your intentions? When you ask a person those questions right there, woo child, I got oil just dripping, y'all, just dripping. But when you ask a person that right there, what are your intentions and what is love to you, then you'll figure out the answers to what you're dealing with that entity. So yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. I appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all share this live. Don't be stingy. Okay? Y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mike Chick 1212 on YouTube. I love y'all. And y'all stay beautiful, stay handsome, stay dope, stay woke, stay conscious. Okay? But enjoy life and live. I ain't said nothing I said for y'all to get in a box and be scared. But I just want y'all to embody discernment. That's it. That's all. Peace and love.